Hello lads and ladies, my name is Rebels, I'm a tumblrpost, and welcome to my new video. I learned my lesson from a pregnant bounty let's play. Yeah! By the way, if you want me to let's play anything else, I'd be pretty much open for almost anything. I also brought the offer into their head to just let's play a random demo. But that's beside the point. But today we're out here on Reddit, because I can't do that on stream for some fucking reason. I can't jump over my shadow. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mostly chose that because I once used to write reviews on Tumblr, so I have a very loose but small connection to it. Friends of mine were like really into it, so I know what kind of mess I'm supposed to expect. 12. 1T2. 2T. God damn it, I hate this fucking post. I hate it, because obviously if 12 followed the same pattern as the other teen numbers, it wouldn't be 2-teen, it would be second-teen. Think about it. It's not 3-teen, it's 13, as in third. It's not 5-teen, it's 15, as in fifth. So with that in mind, you count first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. So 11 would be first teen, and 12 would be second teen, or second teen. First teen, second teen, 13, 14, 15. It just drives me absolutely mad that every time I see this post that this obvious pattern was overlooked and I can't hold in my rage anymore. Second teen. On a second thought, let's not go to Tumblr, it's a silly place. What a good thing to start with. But it's true though. It's the same thing in German. Like in German you say 11 for 11, and you say 12 in German, which sounds similar to 12, but it's written completely different. And I don't know, then there's also the word doesn't, which is just a assortment of 12 things. And we have the same word in German too, it's Dutzend. There's also the term baker's dozen, which is also 13, and there's some things don't make any fucking sense. In German we have one thing as well, that if we say larger numbers, for example, let's take 21. We say 21, which means 1 and 20. Yeah, I know, that is a little bit confusing. The first teen numbers follow the same logic, like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Like, it's also the same thing. It's also 2-teen, 15, whatever. But we don't have a 21, we have 21, we have 1 and 20. And that is something that a lot of people, if they learn German, is a little bit hard for them at first. Which makes sense, obviously. Sometimes I really start flipping over a word in German because I thought about the number in English, and then I say it as in English but in German, and that just sounds wrong. For example, I wanted to say 82, and then I accidentally say 28. Because I'm flipping that in my brain. I want to say 82, which would be in German 82. But because you say in English, and in pretty much any other language, the large number before the small number, I then suddenly say 28. That's a thing usually people always like to tease you with. Even if in good faith, it's still kinda annoying when it happens. My mom kept complaining that all of a sudden the Beatles are back and they're fucking everywhere. And they're so obnoxious and were practically having an orgy in her garden under a cucumber leaf. And that's when I realized she meant spotted cucumber beetles, and not Paul McCartney. Yeah, the thing is, as a child I always got confused by it, because we learned, oh yeah, Beatles is basically just bugs. And then we heard about the Beatles and music, and I'm just like, like we had lessons about them. And I was just like, is there any relation? And obviously the teacher was just, nope. Like as a kid, you ask dumb questions, so obviously this was a question that someone asked, and I just want to rip the band-aid off and ask it myself, because I know someone was stupid enough to gonna ask that. I mean, a question like that from someone who usually tends to ask surprisingly philosophical questions for no reason at all and gets shunned by everybody. Me. Like, literally me. Dress how you want. Gender's fake. Nothing matters. Trans person. I like gender, though. Again, literally me. Hell yeah, I respect that. I apologize and don't mean to dismiss your identity with my optimistic nihilism. Good poster, Pete. Denounce gender roles, but respect gender identity. Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's true. The thing is, it's so hard to some people to understand what the difference is between gender roles and gender identity. Which is also why in English, you have two different words for this. You have the word sex, which for one also means the other thing, but also just means your biological gender. The one that you were genetically born with, technically. Though, again, it's an incredibly blurry line. Biology is incredibly fascinating and crazy chaotic. That's why I love science. It's always incredibly chaotic, but also so incredibly logical. I love science. But yeah, that's true. Dress how you want, gender's fake, nothing matters. If you wanna identify as a gender in any kind of way, of course do that. I'm not gonna stop you. No one's allowed to stop you. That is what you chose for yourself. Just because I don't give a shit about that and constantly end up buying accidentally women's clothing, yeah, that's possible. Doesn't mean that you have to. Gender roles are literally just that. They're roles that were put upon you. If you want to abide by them, okay. If you don't, that's also okay. If you're gonna give shit to someone who doesn't, you deserve a punch in the face. If you give shit someone for abiding to certain gender roles, then you also deserve a punch in the face. I'm not saying punch random people because you don't like the way they dress or something. I just mean respect each other's decisions, boundaries, and ideologies. As long as it's not about my ideology is to disrespect other people's ideology, then you're nothing else but an asshole. It's kind of funny because most religions actually say only one thing and one thing only, which is, yeah, be nice to each other. But for some reason, so many people don't get that. Okay, first look at this picture. Cat? Well, how much shit is happening here? Like, there's a cat, there's a woman. I don't know, but she looks surprisingly horrified. This is one of my favorite pictures on the internet, because all of the combined elements make it delightful. The woman in the background, clearly horrified. The neatly arranged plans, so you know that this is not a house often visited by the Chaos Gods. And of course, the mighty descending puff, who is coming in for a landing on your face, whether you like it or not. But yeah, you neatly wrap that up. Aww, but I would really love a fluffy cat. I don't know. I am this close, like really, really close to just say fuck it and get a Maine Coon. Because I would love to have a shrine cat that just walks around with me everywhere. And I would have a perfect companion when I'm visiting a friend's house of mine and she's walking her cat. And yes, you should kind of walk your cat. Most cats are getting incredibly bored when they're just inside, so just get a collar or a harness or something and go out with him for half an hour minimum each day. Doesn't have to be all at once, obviously, but I don't know, a few times a day for like 5 to 10 minutes would probably be the smartest idea. Things that would happen if House were to suddenly start airing again in 2025. You mean start, right? You mean start, right? They break into a woman's house just to steal and throw out her entire collection of essential oils that she's using instead of medicine. Patient needs urgent surgery, but the insurance is denying it. House says, "Where's Luigi Mangione when you need him?" and storms out. That sounds so hardcore like House, yeah. A teenager ends up in a hospital because he reads too much fanfiction and started taking weird combinations of hormones in an attempt to make MPreg happen in real life. I have mixed feelings about this. A child has the measles because their parents didn't get them vaccinated. House yells at their parents thoroughly. Something like this happened in House for all I know, didn't it? Or was it Good Doctor? I don't know, but I remember that being a thing in one Doctor show. And they pretty much scolded the parents the entire time and were like, why is our kid dying? And their kid is just dying from a random normal fucking disease that could have been prevented if you use vaccines. I think it was even Good Doctor because they tried to use the autistic traits of the doctor, of the main character, as an excuse of not using vaccines. Like, that's how far the rabbit hole goes in this episode. I'm not too sure though. I haven't seen the Good Doctor in a good while. Haven't seen the Good Doctor in a good what? Joke is funnier than I thought. Then they're having trouble figuring out some case and House is frustrated. He says, just say it's long COVID. Everything's a symptom of long COVID. Also makes sense. When I had COVID, it actually went away pretty fast. Like, when we got tested, I stayed at home and my test was negative. Like, I knew I had COVID because later on we actually got the test results, the more professional test results, except for these small little tests. And these small little tests never showed the right thing on my end. Never. And I could be dying from COVID. I'm not kidding. These tests are shit. I have no idea who the fuck made them. I have no idea who the fuck made them. I have no idea who even remotely decided that these are supposed to work. They never worked on me, even when I had COVID. And I have no idea why. When you have COVID and your symptoms kick in, you sometimes get the feeling that you have every single fucking symptoms in existence, or people asking you for every single symptom in existence. And I'm just like, No, my taste buds are not hurting. I'm the cook of a household. If my taste bud would fall apart, the entire kitchen would fall apart. I'm so happy that it didn't influence my ability to smell or taste at the moment. Not any more than a regular flu does, and even a regular flu can't stop me from cooking. For some medical reason, they perform an illegal abortion. Yes, they are in New Jersey, where abortions are still 100% legal all the time. I don't think the writers care. I mean, wouldn't there be a chance of making this like a house call? House call? Yeah, Dr. House goes on house calls, sure. Yeah, Dr. House goes on house calls, sure. But that could have been like a dumb thing, like for example, he's on vacation or something, and then basically infiltrates a different clinic. That is some bullshit Dr. House would do, I swear. And then he meets some empathetic doctors that are like, yeah, she needs to get an abortion otherwise she dies, but wherever we are, that isn't legal for some fucking reason, so Dr. House helps out, and he just fucking does it. Because of Dr. House, what are you expecting? There are many more trans patients. House genders them correctly, but also pretty much exclusively refers to them with a T slur. Oh yeah, and that paired with a hardcore ally moment would be so fun. Because this is pretty much how Dr. House works, you know? He is incredibly rude and blunt. He is what people think being honest is like. And being honest doesn't mean you're an asshole. But Dr. House is an asshole, and he is honest, and he is a good person. That never changed, that will probably never change, because Dr. House is just a fucking icon in that matter. So I can completely understand when he uses that slur without really meaning it as a slur, just like as a stupid trigger word to get a reaction out of him for some reason, because they want to hide something again that is not even relevant to them being trans. He just wants to trigger them into finally telling the truth. And then sometimes a guy comes in that just really doesn't like trans people for some reason, and he just hits them with all the medical facts about it while he's having like a giant ass book in hand that has like all these facts in it, and the other guy just looks like he's afraid that Dr. House is going to hit him with it. That would be such a cool combination. I would die to see this. House goes on estrogen for an episode purely because of its ability to increase pain tolerance. That is something that I also like to throw in here. No matter if you're male or female or anything, you still produce as estrogen and testosterone. Just whatever you produce more of basically influences what you turn into. That's also one of the reasons why so many trans people hate the biological argument, because it very well happens and very well happened that someone who was born biologically one gender still happens to produce more hormones from the other gender, and then basically over time turns into the other gender without anybody else really realizing it. There is even a story about something like this in American Horror Story. Not really. In the American Horror Story that I mean, it's she calls herself an hermaphrodite, and at a doctor they realize that she just produces so many hormones that certain parts of her body incredibly just swelled up, which is why as a child she was referred to as a boy until she grew breasts. That we have to check the patient's ass scene verbatim in its entirety. That reminds me of Scrubs. Like, I don't know if you've seen Scrubs. Scrubs is such an incredibly excellent show, and I love the fact that they really tried their hardest to make it run without the original main cast. And honestly, I would have loved it. I would have loved to see it continue and be successful, because they did everything right for a follow-up series. I think they should have marketed it as a little bit different, like a new variant of Scrubs, because for all I know, it was just a new season, but the entire setup changed. But in one episode of Scrubs, they talk about a specific doctor, and JD, one of the main characters, said he didn't want to go to that colleague of him because every time he goes there, he asked him to undress his pants, despite the fact that whatever he has is like part of his upper body, like he broke his arm, and the first thing that doctor would say is like, if you would please undress your pants first. So yeah, apparently that's a thing. I don't know, and it sounds so bizarre and, well, not good. You've heard of Elf on the Shelves. Now get ready for whatever this is. From an emperor in a lower temperature, Caesar in the freezer, rule in the cooler, Julius in the coolies. Julius in the coolies. I love Tumblr so much. They're so dumb, I love them. I love this picture. Like, I love this picture. 8 rainbows. Wow, lay welly, PA. But I love this picture. Like, seeing multiple rainbows at once is incredibly cool, and I love it. Like, I just generally really enjoy seeing how nature works sometimes. It's so weird to explain, man. Because sometimes people just don't understand that and are just like, that just happens every fucking day somewhere. Yeah, that doesn't make it less fucking interesting. Just because water expands when it freezes every time when it freezes doesn't make it less fascinating. Especially because I don't really know how the fuck that happens. Like, physiological explanation behind it. Like, light goes into water droplet and breaks the light and breaks it off into these weird stripes. But also, where is the light? Where does it have to hit the water droplet specifically to make this? Because most rainbows I see happen after the rain. You know, when there's no raindrops in the air anyways. I probably have to read into that. I'm gonna read into that soon. I'm gonna read into that specifically after that video. Leprechaun convention. Leprechaun. God damn it. Oh, it reminds me. There's a Dagobert Duck comic. Oh, I really prefer the name Dagobert. And I really hate the name Scrooge McDuck. I mean, I understand it's supposed to sound a little fancy, but Dagobert is so much easier to say. Technically, should be easier to say for anybody. Dagobert. What's so wrong about that? But also, it's probably just a translation thing. People just really didn't want to say Scrooge in Germany. So yeah. But there was a thing where like an old friend of his just chimed in, and they were like on an adventure of turning rainbows into gold. Like, they literally had a weird pot that they literally had to hand into the rainbow, and then it turned the rainbow into gold. A little bit of a strange story, but in the end it was all about, yeah, not everything that gives you money is worth the money it gives you. Also, these specific rainbows, like the double rainbows that just mirror each other, are so cool. Especially this is like, oh, there's a double rainbow. Like, obviously there's 8 rainbows at once, but look, these are all corresponding to each other. This one is from purple to red. This one is from red to purple. This one again is from purple to red. And this one again is from red to purple. Oh! Are these two mirroring each other and these two mirroring each other? Like, double rainbows aren't that... Like, double rainbows are rare, but they're not that rare. And always when they appear, they mirror each other. So, these two mirror each other, these two mirror each other, these two mirror each other. Like, these two apparently. I also realized you can't see my mouse. Okay, this post is called Fake Gamer. Huh? Frequently pronounces video games as Bledio games. Bledio games. Will often say, I need help passing this level, it's really hard. Then when you look at the screen, it's running Microsoft Excel 2007. They invite you over to their place to check out their game collection, and you just see every season of Frasier. Still impressive. The Xbox One is actually a series of tissue boxes glued together with the word Nintendo painted over it. When you ask their favorite video game, they respond by doing a series of skillful backflips, temporarily distracting you from having asked the question in the first place. Keeps a secret diary with I hate video games and never play them with written on every page. What? Oh my god. What? Okay, I have to read the comments here. The video games go on the shelves under the Frasier collection. Can I borrow season 7? I'm always done with that season. What's your favorite episode so far? I mean, Excel can be super hard. Don't blame them for needing help. Yeah, Microsoft Excel, like, is such an interesting program. Can technically turn into a video game engine if you really want to, and you can do so much random shit with it. Like, Microsoft Excel, for what it was meant to do, is like 500 times less of what it can do. And that is so fascinating. Like, if you need to learn any Word program, honestly, I recommend you to learn Excel. First of all, it's incredibly fucking complicated, and you can do everything in Excel, even Word and PowerPoint. Like, I'm not joking here. You can apparently apparently, for all I know, you can replace every Microsoft program with Excel, because Excel can just do so much. Apparently. I mean, you can make fucking video games in it, so of course you can basically do everything with it. I'm not the biggest fan of a prestige mechanic where it'll quit to desktop and you have to restart from the beginning. There could at least be benefits from the prestige. For real, I know some players prefer hardcore, but I would rather just use the Control-S cheat code. The benefits is knowing more of the game from the beginning. It's real-world effects. What? No! I hate this so much. There's one thing I really hate about OBS. OBS is such a good program. Once you get into OBS is like Linux. Which makes sense because it's open source. Is OBS open source? I think OBS is open source. Yes, OBS is free and open source software. Good. I didn't need to make more. But yes, because it is open source, it is incredibly user-friendly because the users are taking care of it. Like, people like who are using this thing are also helping developing it. So obviously it is pretty much by default better than pretty much any alternative. Like, I know no alternative that is even remotely as good. And I tried Streamlabs OBS, and I did Streamlabs OBS for a while until it just randomly stopped working, and I was kind of forced into trying to get OBS to work. Like, I tried Streamlabs multiple times. I used it for a very long time until it just randomly stopped working. So it kinda didn't give me any other choice than just going to the source product, which is OBS. And oh my god, it's so much better. Like, Streamlabs can kiss my ass since they just randomly stopped working. Like, I can use it nowadays. Sure, don't know what the issue was back then. In good faith, I cannot recommend Streamlabs. Sorry. I know it's an easy to use software, but everything you can do with Streamlabs, you can do with OBS. 5 times easier. And the funniest thing, Streamlabs wants you to pay money to stream to multiple platforms. Guess what I'm doing every day without paying money to people? Yes, I'm streaming to multiple platforms because OBS is open source and know what the fuck people want. Competitive Excel is a thing. The Microsoft Excel World Championship is held annually and is considered an esport. Albeit an obscure one, people into spreadsheet can be considered games. Oh, that's fascinating. That is really fascinating. You're right, Neon Green Purple. Well, here we are again. Now you can let GLaDOS from Portal control your smart home, complete with potato. Why? I mean, why? I mean, also, cool, but why? Also, if you never play Portal 2, shame on you. But also, if you never play Portal 2, this is such a cool thing. Like, the entire thing with a potato is so fucking cool. I really want to play Portal 2 again. Whoa, I'm sure this character, who I've never heard of before in my life, would do completely ethical things to me in my smart home, and that there are not 2 games entirely based around why this is a bad idea. Oh, it's so true. Oh. Seriously, I love GLaDOS. If I could have an AI assistant, it would be GLaDOS. Oh, I just love how fucking sassy she is. Anyways, I hope you had fun. For I had fun. And if I'm starting to lag, that's because my phone is again overheating. I really need a new phone. But yeah, again, hope you had fun. For I did have fun. And I hope to see you in the next stream video. Whenever you're watching this. Again, this is a video. Why am I even saying this? Why am I even saying the stream part? Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome to my new video. Restarting sequence.